Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night. Welcome to Waves of 10. The topic for this fall season is easy to confuse. So let's jump right into it. Many animals are scattered throughout the world, and some of them are endangered and some are not. Some are perfect as pets and some are not. Some are easy to identify and some need a second look to be clearly identified. Therefore, in this 6th episode of Easy to Confuse, we will take on animals that are easy to confuse. So let's begin with alligators and crocodiles. Will it surprise you to learn that alligators and crocodiles are different species? They are. And if you knew this already, cool. If you didn't, you and I were in the same boat. But now we know, and we are still in the same boat. Cool. Okay. I'm moving on. Although these two amazing creatures look similar, alligators have more of a U-shaped snout, while crocodiles have more of a V snout. In addition, they have tiny black spots, and they are usually black or dark green. Crocodiles are typically light gray or light brown. Additionally, alligators are smaller than crocodiles and they move faster on land and in water than crocodiles. Also, alligators mainly live in fresh water, although they can handle salt water for a few weeks. Crocodiles like to live in fresh and salt water. Butterflies and moths. Butterflies and moths can be very challenging to tell apart, and although I will point out some differences between them, they are exceptions to the norm with these creatures. When resting, butterflies have their wings vertically, while moths have their wings spread out. Butterflies are usually larger, colorful, slender, and smooth to the touch. They also usually like to fly during the day. On the other hand, moths are generally gray, or some people will say dab in color. Their antennas typically look like a feather or a leaf. Take a close look at some and you'll see. They also like to fly during the night and they are attracted to the night lights. Dolphins and porpoises. Dolphins are longer than porpoises. Their top fin is curved backwards and their beaks are long. They are more talkative than porpoises and they like to eat fish. Porpoises have a stout body. Their top fin is triangular. They have no beak and they like to eat fish and squid. They are also more on the shy side. Hedgehogs and porcupines. Hedgehogs are family to the moles, and in an attempt to protect themselves from predators, they roll themselves into a ball. They are smaller than the porcupine, and their quills are also shorter. They are meat eaters and they cannot climb a tree. Porcupines are family to the rat and the beaver. They arch their backs when defending themselves. Their quills falls off easily and they are usually plant eaters and tree climbers. Jaguar and leopards. The jaguar and the leopard, two of the large cats in the world. The jaguar is bigger, stockier, with a broader head and a shorter tail than the leopard. They also have black spots inside the spots on their bodies, and they are usually found in South and Central America. The leopard is the smallest of the big cats, and although they are good swimmers, they usually avoid water. They also like to climb trees with their food, and they are usually found in Africa and Asia. Lizards and salamanders. Lizards and salamanders are reptiles. Lizards have a dry and scaly skin, long legs and claws with 5 fingers and 5 toes. They move very quickly and they have visible ears. Salamanders are related to frogs and their skin is moist with no scales. They have short legs and 4 fingers with 5 toes, and they creep when moving. They also usually live in damp conditions and water. Mules and donkeys. Mules are hybrid animals. They are products of a male donkey and a female horse. Usually, mules do not reproduce. They have small ears, are longer than donkeys, and have a mixture of both horse and donkey in their physical features. They also have a combination of both a neigh and a bray when they sound off. Donkeys reproduce. Their ears are longer than mules, have a thicker coat than mules, and have 2 stripes on their backs. Donkeys, of course, brays when they sound off. Opossum and possums. The names opossums and possums are used interchangeably by some. Nevertheless, they are creatures with these names, and they are not the same animals. Generally speaking, one will find opossums in the southern part of Canada and America, and they are usually smaller than possums. Possums can be found in China, New Guinea, New Zealand, and other places. They have thick and furry tails. Have you ever heard the expression plain possum? Well, it comes from the actions of these creatures. Whenever they feel threatened, they faint and emit a decaying smell to trick their attacker into thinking that they are rotten flesh. So, when you hear of someone playing possum, you know the context. Sheep and goats. Sheep have a woolly coat, and they are usually sheared at least once a year, and their horns are thick and curved. Additionally, their tail typically hangs down, and they graze when eating. That is, their food is more to the ground level. Goats are usually hairy and not woolly, and their tails point outwards more than hang down. Their horns are more on the straight side, and when eating, they usually aim for food above the ground. That is, around eye level and even higher. Turtle and tortoise. Both turtle and tortoise are reptiles, and all tortoises are turtles. But not all turtles are tortoises. I do not fully understand what this means as yet. Nevertheless, turtles are water creatures, and they have web-like feet with long claws. Their shells are usually thinner and lighter than those of tortoises, and they are both plant and meat eaters. Tortoises are land creatures, and their feet are similar to those of elephants. They also have a heavier shell than that of turtles, and they are shaped like a dome. Both turtles and tortoises can live for over 25 years. So there we have it, guys. Alligators and crocodiles, butterflies and moths, dolphins and porpoises, hedgehogs and porcupines, jaguar and leopards, lizards and salamanders, mule and donkey, opossums and possums, sheep and goat, turtle and tortoises. Thanks for listening, guys. Goodbye.